The jungle, Kintargo, Kovlar. Everywhere the Triad has popped up, they have fallen. They won't win.
You're right. They'll never win. We've given them no quarter, forced them back into hiding at each turn, back into their holes. Where do they hide now?
Along the golden road. Coin me and show their safety and pay them some time. No amount of gold will protect them from us.
Us. Together. Beating death, breaking curses, and always finding our way. We'll find them. And then they'll know it's over.
So run. Run all you like. There is no fortress, no keep that will protect you. No army or force that will stop us. No matter how long it takes, we will find you. And we will destroy you. We are the unforgotten. We are eternal.
Hello. Welcome to Penny for a Tale. Oh my goodness, it is episode 65. We are, I guess, really? Pretty much coming up on... It is episode 65. That's what they're telling me. Me is me. That's who I'm hearing it from. Hi, Celeste. How's it going? I see you. I know a fan. You ready to cry? Ready to cry tears? Because I'm ready to bring them.
I hate you.
I'm ready. We will cause
It's too
suffering.
early.
It's hurt me so good.
It's never too early. Whew. Yeah, well, briefly, before we get into where we left off, a little sneak preview, if this is the right button. I hope it is. There it is. Our friends are in prison. Whoops. More on that later.
Fuck the police.
Yeah. I mean, really, yeah.
Spoken like a true criminal.
Truly, yes. Before we get into
entrepreneur, thank you.
It's a very fine line.
We will walk that fine line. But first, our sponsors. This show is sponsored by Smiteworks. They've created Fantasy Grounds Unity. You just saw it a second ago. Virtual tabletop of choice. Super good. If you're looking for a virtual tabletop, check it out. Couldn't recommend it enough. We're also sponsored by The Only Sheet, which is an Excel-based character management and party planning tool. Go to theonlysheet.com if you are interested in all that. You'll find it automates a bunch of stuff on or off of a virtual tabletop. So super cool. We still use it for character planning to this day. Our music tonight, you're hearing Rock Narden, but we're also using Michael Gelfi for our tracks between the songs and some of the music as well. You can find links to their YouTube and Spotify in the show notes. And then our maps tonight are provided by Chain Piku, as well as Seafoot Games. Tonight we're using a map by Seafoot Games that I think is kind of cute and cool and fun. You'll notice we're using dynamic lighting, line of sight, other effects in Fantasy Grounds Unity. If you have any questions about setting that stuff up, just hit me up. I love making maps. Aside from that, I don't know if we have anything else. Why don't we get into character introductions? Starting with, of course, Daniel.
Hi guys, I'm Daniel. I'm playing Sailix Lavendil tonight. The crestfallen, crazy angel thing. I'm locked in a cell, and I'm going to make poor choices all night long. Here's the hoping for a swift rescue.
Well, no swift wind will rescue you tonight. James.
Hi, everybody. My name is James. I will be playing the Tandin, the hero this evening. A possible cameo of Jin Stocky from the tavern at the end of the road. And who knows where Waldorf Skysteel may be right now. Yeah, can't wait to see what the Shadow Realm has in store for the Tandin tonight. He may be in a little over his head as usual, but that's where he likes to be. So
There you go. There you go. On the bright side, Jen.
Hello, I'm Jen. Tonight I will be playing the Vesparin, the sea elf rogue, who is also in prison. But I feel like it's one of those things where she's kind of excited because it's just like, ooh, I haven't been to this one before. And yeah, so I don't know. Hopefully tonight will be fun and exciting and a rousing good time as we look to solve a new problem.
That spirit. Our guest.
Hello there. I'm still here. Yeah, I'm going to be playing Callie of the Raven's Eye. And let's see, as a 16th level spellcaster, shenaniganery is afoot. Especially considering your bloodline.
Shenaniganery. I like that.
Ah.
Shenaniganery. Yeah. All right. Last but not least, Raven of the Ravenswood.
Hello, I am Mr. Smith. I play Rune Ravenswood. But if we're in the shadow plane tonight and Jin is around, it's very likely that, well, there's a chance anyway that William Thane might make an appearance.
Maybe.
We'll see.
Maybe.
I will also partake in
We'll see.
shenaniganery.
Shenaniganery. Yeah. You gotta, open up a little shenaniganery in Catapad. Just only the finest shenanigans. Where to start this? Well, really, where it all came to a head. You've been taken to a prison. Your telepathic bond severed. Suddenly, a strange feeling, an anti-magic field, perhaps something cutting you off.
I'm so glad
From
I
the
wasn't
others.
taken to that prison.
Yeah. When this Ori individual left, he left guards to stand watch. I'll ask the Vesparin, Kali, Sailix, what's your plan? What's your first action? What do you do?
How closely are the guards watching?
Seems there's always one of them looking at you.
Okay.
At least for now, you could wait.
So yeah, I mean, I feel like Vesparin is going to be very casual at first and just sort of stretched and like look nervous and like maybe rattle the bars or something like that, of just like making a show of being like sort of nervous but trying to play it cool, while secretly testing the defenses of these bars and what sort of mechanisms and stuff are in place for holding everybody there. So let me know if you need me to roll deception or thievery or whatever.
Yeah. You might have a pretty good handle on these things. Save that the Zephyr Guard proved earlier today that they're pretty formidable.
Yes.
Kali, you haven't had a chance to reset your spells as a sorcerer. Is there anything you wish to do? Your mouth is still tied,
Okay.
and that will be difficult.
Fair enough. Okay.
I'll
That certainly makes the
untire
verbal
if I
components a little
can.
tricky. Honestly, she's just gonna rest because she got beat to shit last time. Like, probably not too far away from what Sailix endured, but over a much shorter period of time.
Yeah.
So she's just gonna like be leaning up against like the back of the cell, just like kind of relaxing, focusing, thinking about the next move. Yeah, it should be.
Sailix, what about you? Are you muted? Oh, we got 12 minutes in. Maybe?
Wah, wah. No.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Oh no!
It's not me this time.
Scarlet Triad. It got him.
Yes!
Oh no.
Cut out his tongue.
Oh,
Ah,
oh no. Sailix
and you
Lavendil.
put the
brooding.
spooky music on!
That's who
They
we have
cast
tonight.
a silent
Yeah.
spell on Sailix. Oh no.
Oh no!
Okay. So what we'll do is I'll ask the wizard. Rune, you have means to step foot outside of this plane of existence and where you see yourself best fit, right? If you have that spell available today before resting.
So the most.
What are your plans?
Yeah, so Rune doesn't have the spell readily available. It is in his book, and the only thing he can do right now is do a quick teleport through the shadow plane because of his relic. So, he's gonna have to rest. He can attempt to cast it from his book. We could, like, ritualize that. But yes.
Interesting. Well, so here's something. You know a mage. In Breach Hill has been learning the magic, the planar magic. He was a relative of an old friend of yours, and he has made progress. But the strange thing is, last time, you remember, he was very young. And this might be a moment to realize that time is passing pretty quickly for Rune in the grand scheme of things. People are growing up. By the math of it, he should be 18 or 19 right now. Besides, he runs your bookstore. It's time you pay him, I think. First of the month and all that.
Well, there's the good old-fashioned teleport, I suppose.
Suppose there is.
So if that is if Rune is reasonably certain that is his best method to go fish Tandon out of the goddamn shadow plane, yes, Rune will quietly step outside of his mansion into this sort of abandoned space that he put it in, and begin casting the teleport spell to go back to his basement apartment in the archives that I don't think he's been to in like nigh on 2 years or something like that.
Yeah. It would be about that long, huh?
Yeah, so unless someone's kept it up, it's pretty cobwebby down there.
Funny you say that, because
Oh, that's an old
as you
scene.
come in, right, you do see a familiar face, but familiar in a weird way. You haven't seen him in a while. He bears resemblance to an old friend of yours, an accidental mentor. Jorel Blacktusk Jr. has been keeping up on the place. You thought that somebody would be hired out to keep it in good shape, and somebody has. Blacktusk, his nephew. He was named after him because he raised him, taught him the ways, and, well, his kindness paid off. He took to the arcane ways, and you'll find him right now practicing an incantation. He's learning to create food to disastrous effect. You could see some vermin scurrying about. Means he probably wasn't as successful in the cleanup or the prestidigitation of such magic, but curses to himself as you arrive, jumping in terror before realizing Rune Ravenswood is no threat to him.
Not yet, anyway.
Hello.
Hello.
He gets up as if he's in your seat. In a lot of ways, this place is still kept in the way you would like it. So suddenly, he doesn't seem as at home in this basement. He stands away from the desk.
No. Please. This is yours. This place is yours.
It's
been
can
a
I help
while.
you?
I'm sorry.
It has. No.
A terrible habit of that.
Are things okay?
Not really, no. I vaguely remember you were interested in planar magic, so I was wondering how far you may have come along. Very specifically, I need to get to the plane of shadow.
All right. Well, I've been plane of shadow.
Yeah.
You've met Varys, yes? Up the hill.
Yeah.
Well, let's see if this works. He wraps a knuckle on the desk, walking over to it. Somatic, to summon a spell, some telekinesis. The book pulls itself from the shelf. You only realize when it's pulled free from the other books. It's puffing out, means handwritten letters are bound together. He retrieves it and opens it, flipping through the wrinkled parchment before stopping. Here. I was new to the scene, but you traveled to the plane of shadow, yes?
I have, yeah.
Through a gate with the blood of the Lavendil.
That's correct, yeah.
I'm next to no help with such a spell. However, Varys writes here he could reproduce such a spell if needed, though he's not tried since that day.
Oh.
Can you hear me?
All right then. Yep.
Oh, I hear. Yep.
All right.
Do
then.
see him.
I'll do that. And I meant it. This place is yours. You'll take care of it better than anyone else.
Okay. Thank you.
Are you? Rune will give him a couple pointers on the spell he was trying to cast. Before, is there anything else you need?
I'm quite fine.
All right. Thank you.
Good smile.
And Rune will make his way to the Citadel. How far away is the Citadel from Breach Hill?
As the Corvus flies, you're looking at 6 miles. The path is 10 miles, but you have a roughly 6-mile long underground tunnel spanning from a nearby tavern directly to the crypts.
That's right.
If you remember.
Perfect, yeah.
You've also got a
All right.
horse.
I don't have my fancy horse handy to get there faster, so we'll take the tunnel.
Yep. All right, and you're tunneling. So, back at the prison. Sailix, Vespa, Kali. You've got some time to rest, reflect. Pick through the changing of the guard or blind spots in their watch. Do you have anything that you want to do when it seems they're not paying so much attention?
Yes. Assuming, so again, like this is not V's first rodeo in prison. And she has been playing up this act of like getting progressively more like, you you gotta let me out, guys. Like, you don't know who I am, okay? You don't know, and just like starting to like play off over the course of the hours that like claustrophobic sort of twitch. And obviously she would have untied Kali's mouth. So yeah, like during a point in time when like it seems like they're not paying attention, she would sort of position herself against the wall here, so like Sailix can see her and like Kali can see her, but like in the shadows of the corner, ideally, like hopefully where Kali is standing.
Yeah.
Thank you. And she would just be like, so now, Ian, did I get a feel for the lock to know if the thing that I want to do would work? Or at least have a plausible enough theory?
Yeah. Katapesh invests more heavily in its guards than anything else. Recognizing that things can be picked, destroyed, broken into, evaded through magical means, it doesn't matter what they use to secure people in place. For example, that cloth binding on Kali's mouth, pretty easy to untie. Really what you have to worry about is the Zephyr Guard being sharp as anything. So no, to answer your question, lock's pretty mundane, pretty weak.
Okay, cool. So, and like we have a feel roughly for when the guard changes happen?
Well, the guard change is only a few seconds. Small, maybe 20 seconds of conversation. That would have been probably when you untied Kali's mouth.
Okay.
But the real question is, Kali, with that window, is there anything you cast right away so as to cover your tracks here? It's going to be pretty obvious that you're without your binding.
Actually, yes. She's going to cast Moment of Renewal on herself, on the Vesparin, and on Sailix. So Says I can target up to 6 creatures with this.
Okay.
So a full day's rest, or the effects of a full day's rest, aside from spell stuff, but y'all don't need to worry about that.
So
Okay.
we have full HP now?
No.
Oh, okay.
In all likelihood, you will have regained some HP. But what that's going to do is it's going to ward off that upcoming fatigue condition.
Ah.
Yeah. And then...
Well, I only need to sleep 2 hours.
True.
Okay. So, yeah, well, really quickly, like, under her breath, Vesparin would, like, you know, say to Sailix and Kali, how are you both holding up?
Better now. Zeph gods, do not hold back.
How long do you need until you are ready to go?
I mean, I am certainly, I have some spell energy left.
Sailix?
So Sailix is not paying attention. He's in his own little world, staring down one of the guards as he paces in front of the door. He's been doing it since they got it. He's got there. Just if ever there was like caged predator kind of vibes, it's that, as he's just eyeing one down, pacing back and forth.
So,
like,
so
Vesparin's gonna try to like ting on the bars or something to just be like, I need you to pay attention. Does he turn or anything, like, or is he just like staying in his own world?
I guess I'll look at her as he like turns around to pace back the other way.
So, I have a plan. You will have but a moment to take advantage of what I am going to do. So I need to know when you will be ready to do so.
I mean, I'm certainly ready.
She looks pointedly at Sailix.
He just kind of shrugged.
So, Ian, the guards still aren't looking, right? Or are they?
Well, it depends on if you're having your meltdown now or if you've not done it yet.
Not yet.
If the ship... Okay, then they are still swapping out, actually.
Okay, cool. So she's gonna look at Kali and just be like, darling, I'm going to need you to hold my hair for a second. Just one second. And she's going to start like making gagging noises, as you know, and just like hitting herself in the stomach, but like wincing in pain because she's still like gutted there from the, or at least partially gutted there from where the lady stabbed her. And she forces herself to like throw something up, but like in the corner, so like her back is like sheltering it. And so Kali can see there is a little bag in there. And she sort of just picks it out and does like one of these, and then opens it and puts it in her mouth and starts chewing. And then she looks at Kali and says, "Okay, darling," and between bites, and pulls what looks like a button on her outfit is actually the pommel decoration of a dagger, and she slides it over to Kali. So, very shortly I am going to die. And she hands it to Kali. You need to chew this and keep chewing it repeatedly. Right now. Just put it in your mouth. And now then, when the guards come to collect my body, you will let them. You will be appropriately sad and upset and maybe wail. Dramatic wailing would be very effective. And she looks at Sailix like, you too.
Sailix is not listening at this point.
Once as they are like going to take my body away, we will do one of those, no, don't, but use your hand to slip this into the lock thing. It will dissolve the lock inside, so the door will not properly close. And then when they leave, that is when you escape. She would then pull out, a comb from her hair and pick out some of the tongs. These locks are so absurdly sad. Even you, my dear, should be able to break out our brooding friend over there. Now then, he is probably going to freak out when this happens. So most of this is going to be on your shoulders. Can you handle it?
I believe I can.
Okay. She looks over at Sailix and as she pulls from like the top of her fingernail off, and there's like a little like razor blade underneath what was obviously a false nail, and just kind of looks really sad and says, there was a time that I promised a very dear friend of mine that I would not do what I am about to do because it would make him very sad. Hopefully in the next life, should he ever return, he will forgive me. And she gives Sailix kind of this sad smile as she screams like, "You won't keep me in here! I'll die before I become a slave to you!"
Okay, shut up in there. Catapesha woman calls back.
Kali appropriately goes, Vesparin! Vesparin! No, 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 no! Stay with us! Stay with us!
She moves closer. What is this?
Kali will go full fox kitsune and kind of like snarl a little bit, just like, you will stay away from her.
Oh, child. Look, if people are dying on my watch, I'm going to be quite crass. Just sort of get down into a squatting position. Just kind of bouncing lightly on strong legs and looking. Vesparin, are you convulsing right now?
Oh yeah, like blood is spurting from her throat, and like, you know, she is very obviously slowly bleeding out.
And of course,
What did
Callie
you
is
do?
like, she did this to herself. Rather than live in chains.
Likely story. Where's your binding? She'll pull a sword, immediately suspicious that you're speaking to her.
Shh. You tried binding a shapeshifter, darling. Did you really think that would last?
Oh, we thought you'd play nice. Well, maybe, more drastic measures. Who did this? Did you do this? She looks at the Celestial across the bars in the other cell.
So Salix is standing just far back enough from the light coming in from the outside to where like half his body's cast in shadows. He's just kind of malice exudes from his whole body as he just kind of watches Vespa bleed out.
Okay. Well, if nobody is going to tell me what is going on, we get my boss involved. Do we really want that? Who did this? Was it you, Angel?
Get your boss.
All right. It's not my skin in the flaying anyway. All right. You heard him. Let's get Uri. We're gonna cut. We're gonna cut here to the Vesparin, literally dying, to a somewhat unfamiliar, dark and cold place. Rune, it seems Jorah Blacktusk Jr. was correct. Varys had a way to reproduce the magic. To his hesitation, he eventually did. You arrive in Zovicane once more. You're greeted with a place of extreme darkness. Bleak, you stand in the threshold, the entry point to that coldness sinking into your bones. What do you do, Rune, as you arrive?
Well, that is a fantastic question.
Yeah.
Well, first and foremost, he will... Oh, no, he doesn't want to do that. I was going to say, he's going to send out his little compatriots to go scout ahead, but he doesn't want to lose them. So, there's that. He does have the locate spell. Which will at least give him a chance of potentially finding... I'm checking to see if it's a person or a thing.
Yeah, I guess the real question is, what are you looking for here?
Specific... Okay, so yes, it is an object. So... crap. he'll spend a he'll use hypercognition in an attempt to recall knowledge on what Tandon looked like, to see if there was a unique item, symbol, tool, something on him that would sort of pick him out from the rest. It'll give me six checks.
6 checks. Okay. All right. Hypercognition. Go. First check. What do you want to do? Let's think about what Tandon
So I'm
looked
going to actually
like.
put them all into. I'm going to put them all into perception because I feel perception is likely the best option in this case,
Okay.
unless you have another idea.
No, perception is good.
Okay.
This is my favorite non-combat
Perception
combat with
is-
Rune. All right.
Not a good way to start.
Bad.
off. That was
Not
one down.
irreparable. Not irreparable. Okay.
It's fair. That was only slightly better.
All right. 27,
Getting
31, 37. Okay.
Oh,
27, 28, 29.
Oh, there we go.
Nat 20.
there we go.
Ayo! All right. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5, 6. Fantastic timing. Do you want to tell me what order? What you want to? Anything in particular you're looking for here? Specificity is
So,
good.
just because I enjoy describing spells, hypercognition is a little weird because the way it functions, it taps into oddly his oracular lore mystery, but in effectively Rune's mind's eye, the moment that Tandon left, there's this just sort of scene of the entire battlefield in rather impressive detail, all things considered, but sort of hovering or overlaying all across all of it is a very familiar movie effect of these arcane symbols and writings just sort of patterned over everything, highlighting bits and pieces of his visual or what's in front of him. And in this particular case, it's all sort of outlining Tandon and trying to key in on various aspects, whether it's tools on his belt, his holy symbol that he might be brandishing, or the armor that he's wearing, the fabric that it's made of. But yeah, he's looking for some specific object that represents Tandon as best as it can.
Object.
He does have a rather gaudy cluster of feathers in his hat.
Oh, there you go.
He does. Okay, I'll give you
Tandon's
6
feathered
feathers.
hat.
Feathers. Now that
It
is
can
one
be as
clue. That
specific
will
as
burn.
Tandon's feather hat. So, just so you know.
Yeah. Okay. But with this, one of your skills is going to pick up. That 37 you got beats the DC I have for a little clue here. Tandon looks like a native Arcadian from across the sea. Native to
Really?
Arcadia. A far, far, far away land. In the lands of the Lunar Kings. It's believed that Valhalla is out that way. They call it Valenhall. It's probably a myth. In all likelihood, they probably sailed out to their death and never returned. But who knows? Who knows? Maybe they found Aslan. You know. But interesting to note. He, yeah, for all intents and purposes, matches the description of a native Arcadian. And well, with your other roles, I'm not sure you have anything else to follow up on that one. Yeah. It would be something to inquire about, for sure. But with that locate spell, sure enough, you would be able to find that hat.
Well, the level I have of the locate spell, it is 5th level, which allows me to focus on the ancestry. So knowing that he's Arcadian is perfect.
Yeah.
So Rune will be going in that direction, whichever that direction is.
Yeah. No. Fair.
But
And
he's
it's going to take a while to find.
Yeah, he's keeping to himself, trying to stay out of the prying eyes of those shadow monitor things that have the one eye. But yes, just attempting to quietly pass through the plane of shadow as much as possible.
Yeah. So there are a ton of they're called auger Velstrax. You're probably, unless you're completely untrained in stealth whatsoever, you're gonna have a pretty easy time avoiding notice from them. They scan. I mean, they really prey on the weakest of souls. Oh yeah. Okay. Good. So your level of proficiency is going to just absolutely leap over that. The question, however, is the other Velstrax, interlocutors, presenters. They would be searching. They would be roaming these halls. This place feels like war-torn, strangely enough. This place had a dark order to it long ago, but suddenly it seems warped. Like a bomb hit it, that nobody knows how to act. Monsters roam the halls. Some cells are blown open. It's chaos. It's calamity, but at least it's sparsely populated. A few Velstrax, though. Flayed skin, leather bindings, wands in hand, and you can see the glint of needles that are sticking into flesh. They search. What would you do to avoid notice, Rune?
Well, he'll stay quiet and stealth-like. Barring that, he will absolutely go invisible.
Okay. All right. Great use of invisibility. I will give you that. But you do see someone rounding the corner. Your location spell has led you to him. James, what does Tandon look like?
Oh, he's, let's say, tallish to average height. You know, probably 5'10" to just under 6 feet. He has olive skin and a dark, kind of rough goatee-ish style beard. He's got hair a little longer than the character art. It's kind of down to his shoulders now, kind of pulled back in a bit of a Witcher style, where it's kind of like half down and the front is just kind of pulled back. He's wearing kind of fine clothing that is in good repair. It's all of kind of light colors except for his cloak. His cloak is kind of a dark dun color. It is markedly nondescript, kind of inly. He does have like kind of a pouch on his belt and a satchel over kind of one shoulder. And other than that, he's carrying a short bow and a bastard sword.
As a point of note, he had none of those things when he entered in. Is that right?
I believe he did.
All right, just wanted to make sure.
It's just kind of his traveling gear. I mean, it just looks like basic traveling gear on anybody.
crawling out of a crack in the stone floor. It looks like stone, but it sort of blends into a natural sort of cliff formation. There's a very messy blend of natural and crafted stone here in the floor. Telltale sign that this place was created by a deity and not by a society. But Tandon crawls out of the floor. You can tell there is another structure below the ground. You're not sure if Tandon notices as he emerges, though. There is some strange sort of abscess in his neck. It's black as pitch. And the way it moves from within would be as if a knuckle is moving along on the inside. You see sort of a crease, like a hand under a bed sheet, moving about, 2 or 3 of them.
Occult? Or recall knowledge on occult? To know what the hell that is?
Yeah.
I have some clue anyway.
Yeah, let me know what you get.
Oh, that would be a crit.
Okay. That's a 45 on that check. Nat 20, and I believe you're legendary. So, yeah, probably.
Oh, a side note, thanks Lionhead Gaming. Welcome.
Oh, hello, welcome.
Hello.
Yeah, we're currently managing our dear Tandon experiencing something dark and profane. Yeah, so this bubble underneath the surface, you can tell it's multiple. It looks like a skeletal hand is just underneath the liquid, dragging its digits along. That's the ripples you see. That fluid. Something from the plane of shadow. It looks like it would be quite painful, but Tandon doesn't act at all as he emerges. I want to ask Tandon, what do you do as you come up?
Do I notice Rune? Or am I...
Yeah, probably. Well, perception check versus... I think he's invisible, actually.
Oh, well, he would have gone invisible if he had to. So if the stealth was not working, like people, the creatures kept sort of eyeing him, he would have gone invisible. So just let me know if that's the case.
Yeah, well, you had a search on rather recently. People were looking for you.
All right, that's fair.
So the invisibility,
That's fair.
yep, avoided detection there.
Tandon just kind of he crawls out of this crack in the ground and proceeds to kind of dust himself off and get all of his kind of pouches and everything arranged before looking around and kind of seeing where he has found himself this time. I think I should have taken a left turn at Albuquerque, but I think,
A raven will fly and land on his shoulder. Sort of purplish sheen to its feathers, barely being able to make that out in the shadows. But in his head, hello, Tandon.
Tandon jumps at first, but as soon as the voice speaks, he gets that kind of hello, wizard.
Oh, this is a very effeminate voice. This is not the voice of Rune.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do I know you?
No, I don't believe we've had a chance to meet. I am Mirakai. Rune wanted me to come speak with you.
Rune. Oh, the wizard. Right.
The wizard.
He goes to brush Mirakai off of his shoulder. I've got no
She
time
sort of
for wizards
flaps
today,
and ruffles
dear.
her feathers, but lands back on his shoulder. That was unnecessary.
You're not going to leave me alone, are you?
We came here specifically for you, Tandon. You ran. We need you back.
I didn't run. I retreated. There's a difference.
Well, let's return then, shall we?
I evaded capture, much unlike your unlucky friends.
Which is why your return is required.
All right.
He can
but
likely
it's
help
going
you
to
with
cost you.
He can likely help you with that hand on your shoulder, whatever it might be.
The what on my what? Oh, that. Yes, well, I was wondering what I was going to do about that, so if you're offering to help, then maybe we could come to an understanding.
Well, I suppose you could wander through the shadow plane for as long as you survive. The choice is really yours, I suppose.
I'm looking for something, thank you very much. Or someone. Right, very well. Lead me to your master, friend, whatever you want to call him.
Straight and to the right a bit. All right.
That's right, you say. Oh, I'm fine. I'm just peachy. This way? This way. Right. Wizard!
Don't yell.
Oh. Start heading in that direction.
There are creatures here who want to murder us. As a reminder.
You get used to it after a while.
Don't. Before too long, Rune will find a cove or a little outcropping they can kind of hide under, and Marikai will lead hand in there, and Rune's just sort of kneeling down. Tandon.
Mr. Ravenswood.
You have a lot of explaining to do.
I suppose I do.
Right. But for now, we need to rest.
I'll second that motion.
Rune will use
digging into his pack Tandon starts digging into his pack for like rations. Pulls out a couple of ration tonics actually and passes one to Rune.
Rune will use the outcropping of stones to form out a circle with his staff and cast which spell is that one? It's Shelter, I believe. Private Sanctum.
Shelter. Okay.
No, Private Sanctum. So it is not. It's not a building like his mansion is, but it is a space that cannot be seen. It is undetectable or unobservable, and it's the inside is the temperature is normalized.
That's a handy trick.
Can't be scryed. Lasts for the next 24 hours. Just a nice, safe space to rest in the plane of shadow.
Oh, you get used to this.
And that you do. Place to stop. You're protected from whatever the fuck is actually going on over here. But it doesn't matter, because the plane of shadow can have as much chaos as it wants. You're here on a mission, and once you're rested and ready, you'll return for your friends. But speaking of your friends, well, back in little old Catapesh, we have an occurrence, an event. The guard has got somebody important to take a look at what's going on. So the Vesparin should be unmoving by now. This guard takes her time. Yeah, Vespa will be on the floor. Kali, how do you take this? She is dead.
Yeah. So Kali would know enough, heard enough about the Vesparin to know sometimes the accounts of her death are greatly exaggerated. Of course, she's also nothing if not a dramatic bitch when she wants to be. So of course she is hamming it up. Just full on telenovela. Vesparin.
Wow. Amazing. What a show. Uri comes in. It's long blonde hair, that little chin-step beard. Sometimes he's got a goatee. You can see he experiments with facial hairstyles by the tan lines here in Catapesh. What an absolute show. He looks at the guards. You can tell he's quite furious. I give you 3 prisoners for 1 night, and we're down a third. Amazing. Fantastic. Your next job is quite easy. Fetch me competent guards. Got it? Thank you. All right. Care to tell me what happened? You killed your friend. What a sight. He calls out to Kali.
She killed herself rather than live in chains.
Ah. You know what's funny? Looking directly at you, Kali, as he's walking slowly towards you. Very slowly.
Dude,
They never do that. Never.
clearly you've never been to Cowling.
Oh. No, I haven't. By the sound of it, it would have been a bad investment. No, Avastani slaves, they never jump the ship. Nope. We get a good profit. She was killed, probably by you. My question is, why have you done it? And, what's it gonna take to get that binding back on your mouth? See, I don't trust you. And he sort of produces a dagger as he walks by. And he just kind of like, with a dagger in one hand, is just sort of letting his hand glide along the bars. You hear the clink, 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 clink of one of his rings rapping against the bars as he passes by, moving from Sailix's cell slowly towards yours. Sailix, do you do anything?
Yeah, so as soon as he's without of eye shot, Sailix steps forward, reaches up, grabs the ceiling, and pushes his legs through, wrapping around Uri's throat and pulling him back towards the cell wall. And as he hooks the back of his knee and leans the top half of his body weight down, completing a leg lock, he says, "Why don't you ask her yourself when you reach the afterlife? You sniveling little shit. It's 'cause of you that she's dead, and I'll hold you here until you go to meet her in the afterlife."
I'm going to make you make an attack roll. I believe your modifier is going to be a plus 31. We're going to run with this one. Now, Sailix, you have a hero point. This would be the opportunity to use it.
Yeah, he'll use it. Why not? I got nothing else going on.
Oops. Wait.
What is going on, sir? Can I choose the 19, please?
Well, the second one that was rolled is the one that applied.
Oh, okay.
Second to hit is a plus. Yeah, so 37. He's flat-footed. He was not expecting that. That does hit. You managed to lock your knee in. The damage is unarmed. You're not dealing anything significant, but you managed to really impress upon how pissed off you are at Uri. You lock in and wrap him against the bars. Kali, you have a chance to react here if you're trying to intervene on this violence. But you notice Uri still has a dagger in hand.
Could she... I don't think she has the skills to disarm him.
Yeah. No, not from that distance.
I think she's just gonna enjoy the show.
Yeah. And to show it is, because in response, Uri, you know what? Dagger out, and he's going to make a shot directly at Sailix's kneecap.
Oof. Oh.
Which will hit. Quite a lot of slashing damage comes through. Your kneecap pops off. Things are torn. That thing's probably not going to move. But what I will say, Sailix, is you have an interesting vantage point, because your leg hold on this fine gentleman is not dependent on the knee that has now been separated. It's actually the opposing knee that's making the lock. If you would like, for the sake of just spiting this man's existence, you could continue to choke him out, just to show him how much you don't like him. It's up to you, but all you got to do is tighten that other leg. It's gonna hurt, but you know. What do you do?
On a kind of with your permission, on a kind of laughing how, Sailix, utilizing his free hand, pulls that locked the knee that's using as a leverage point, utilizing it to pull himself up and keep the leverage there. As he gets real close to Uri's ear, that's right next to the cell bar, says, "Starlight says hello," and he's going to bite his ear off.
Sailix, make me an attack roll. Okay.
I don't have the unarmed attack. Can you roll for me again, please?
Yeah, you're fine. You're at a plus 31 because your proficiency is going to be matched. Actually, truthfully, it might be a plus 29. Wait, pull the first attack. Yeah. You're off.
And as the ear separates, he lets the leverage go and kind of falls back. And blood all over his mouth, laughing hysterically, he just kind of spits the ear at his feet. Oh, this is great fun. Great fun. We'll call you One Ear Uri. I wonder if your mom's gonna recognize you anymore. Not after I murder her in front of you. You remember that, and remember this face. Because elves have nothing but time, human. And with whoever unlucky soul you sell me to, they'll slip up one day. And I'll murder them. And I'll come back to Ketepesh. Then I'll murder your children. I'll murder your children's children. And when you have nothing left, and you lie on your deathbed, I'll lean down and I'll smile at you. And I'll say, let's take you to that slave market and see what we can fetch for the pretty little blonde in the back.
You monster. You fucking monster. Just frantically rubbing blood on his red armor to conceal it. Okay. Yeah, rules of engagement. That's how you want to do this? I'll play by your rules. Okay. I'll wear this shit like a badge of honor. You. All right. This is how we're going to do it. A little bit faster this time. Sorcerer, you'll wear the binder. I'll cut your tongue off. What is it? He moves to Kali's cell.
You can try.
All right. He's gonna open the cell. Kali.
Okay.
And he's gonna step in. You can roll initiative if you would like. There's a good chance he's beating you at this one.
Well, you never know.
Actually.
That's
Yeah. We're matched, so that means he goes first unless you have the feat. If you were a rogue, you would have went first here. Oh,
darn.
That's a hard time. One action as a 5-foot step, 2 actions to attack. He's not looking to kill you. Quite obvious. By the way he looks at you, he knows you could, fetch a pretty good price. A 46 is a critical hit, unless you've got anything I'm missing. Non-lethal damage.
No. Okay.
For 74 points of damage.
Okay.
At a -5 penalty, a 45 will still hit for enough damage.
Yep.
Enough damage that should.
Could I do a reaction really quick?
Yeah. If the trigger's met, you have a reaction. What do you do?
So you did damage me. So this is Blinding Fury.
Okay.
So I'm going to need a will saving throw. So like as he's like slashing at Kali, she utters this curse in Sylvan, funnily enough, that just kind of slightly distorts the air around him, especially around the eyes. 48. That does succeed. Critically,
Okay.
actually. So, not affected.
You might find it to be pretty formidable. You are sitting at 28 health, Holly.
Yeah.
But I think it's your turn. I want to ask what you're doing.
All right. That is a good ass question. I think someone who spells. Ah.
He's staring at you, smiling.
Yeah. You know what we're gonna do? She's going to cast Mask of Terror on herself.
Okay.
So that is a 7th level spell. So the target appears to be a gruesome and terrifying creature. The effect is unique to each observer. So a human viewing the target might see a demon with bloody fangs, but a demon observing might see a glowing angelic visage. Basically, it's a your greatest fear spell. When any creature attempts a hostile action against the target, the creature must attempt a will save. It is then temporarily immune until the end of the next turn. Basically,
Alright.
she just waves her hands and suddenly she looks like Uri's worst nightmare.
Stares at you. Wow. He's gonna make a will save.
Okay.
What's the DC?
I believe it's 37.
Beats it by a margin with a 43. Looking
Okay.
at you, his eyes widen for a second before honing in. No. Sorry, Mother. You're not real. He'll impale you for a hit that, if I've got my math right, knocks you clean out.
Yep,
The next
probably.
thing he does, binds your mouth, binds your arms, looks at Sailix. Don't try anything until the duel. Good? Good. Slings the Vesparin over his shoulders, strides out. Next thing we see,
So just to
Yeah.
rectify that scene, as like he leaves, Sailix will kind of push himself over to the cage wall separating Kali and himself, and knowing that they've just been impaled, kind of like tries to reach through and pull them to the other side, lifting them up to make sure they don't choke on blood or anything, and just kind of like holding them still on the like back corner of the cage, letting them get rest as long as it doesn't look like they're going to bleed out or anything. Kind of like looking them over.
Uri wants nothing more than to ignore your existence, Sailix. You can tell he's quite disturbed about what happened to his ear. So unless you force his hand, he's going to leave you to it. The guards are watching. Otherwise, in a way, you're alone here for a while until Kali wakes up. Vespa is gone. You've known her how many days?
Less than a week.
Good elf. Skilled. Strong. Competent. Yeah. Familiar face, too. Huh, it's a sea elf thing. But, it appears she's dead.
Hold up. Are you saying all CLs look the same? That is not okay.
Oh, no. Uh-oh. I'm gonna get clipped for that, and not in a good way. All right. I love all aquatic elves. Especially the Vesparin, who wakes up in a cold sweat. You're half suffocating. In a way, you can feel, well, just really the weight of like maybe 110 pounds over top of you, a couple of limbs on your body, and you can tell by the loud sound. You're being carted away with corpses. Not very glorious work, but work that needs to be done in Katapesh. You're in a market somewhere, sweating your ass off.
Yeah, okay. So I hear the sounds of the market and everything, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So she's going to, with whatever limited strength she has, very slowly and carefully, little by little, try to, like, you know, especially like as the cart bumps and jostles, like reposition herself so, like, you know, to not be underneath everything.
Yep.
And basically wait. Assuming she's able to get into a spot where she can dislodge herself, she is going to wait until she can hear, like, the sounds of people walking by, like, fade away, and then just sort of carefully fall out of the cart.
Drop and a roll. Of course, Katapesh is just buzzing, bustling, and busy, but you don't really know where you were pulled out of. So you would need the help of, well, magic of some sort. This place is, I mean, Katapesh is huge. Just miles and miles of streets, alleys, roads, and warehouses. You would have no idea where you were sent, but maybe a magic user would. What's your plan, Vespa?
Okay, so I am very obviously somewhere else, and let me see. I guess she would first try to go to whatever safe house we had established to see if Rune is there. And while also, like, kind of trying to gather information about the prison from just, like, talking to people and, like, doing a ear to the ground sort of gesture. Because, like, knowing where it is, for example, seems super prudent.
Yep.
And yeah, so I assume, you know, she hoofs it over to safe house and no one's really there, right?
Yeah. Yeah, strangely enough, nobody's anywhere to be found. You could purchase teleportation through a number of means if you're trying to get to, say, what other people don't know is you getting to Finderplane is your gateway to get wherever you need for so many different things. So even securing means to get back there is probably a great shot at looking for this Rune Ravenswood. It's really just about what Vespa would do to mobilize, yeah.
And Finderplane is the gnome city?
Yeah, it's right by the Dust Gate.
Okay. And I assume she doesn't
at least not yet, really have any trustworthy mage contacts in the city, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's really spotty here.
Yeah, then I guess she would look to try to teleport to the city and then head towards the Citadel.
Excellent. It takes some time to secure travel, but eventually you do return. You'll notice eventually, as you arrive, of course, the first person you're going to meet is Eriyn Lavendil. Wonderful elf. He basically runs Alcetta's ring at this point. His familiarity and his capability with things such as Jewel Gate made him like a prime worker bee here to maintain these portals. But as you arrive, do you say anything to what is now, I mean, really your old friend?
So I feel like at when she shows up, like she has, you know, again that like work face on, where it's just very like she's focused on you know, a target and her mission, and just like, you know, is at that like point of absolute focus that she doesn't think about like what expression she's making. So like I feel like that would be a thing that Varys would like take note of and be like, ah.
Yeah.
Varys, have you seen Rune?
Yes, he's here somewhere. I helped
Can you
him
take me to him?
not long ago. Yes. He's just catching the last lines of a novel he's reading before he shuts it. He's in that ancient elven library. He stands. Right this way.
Your father has been captured.
His
We will
wheelchair
take him out.
stops. Captured where?
Get the fish. Are any of your books related to schematics of the prison? Or perhaps the builders who built other buildings?
Not for Katapesh, no.
If the architects who designed the Katapesh prison have designed other things, then it is possible that the same vulnerabilities would be present in that building as their other projects.
You seek to free him.
Obviously.
Do you know even where he is?
Did I get a read for where the prison was?
It's really hard to know. They led you on a trail blindfolded for literal hours before dropping you off in a prison, and then an anti-magic field cut off telekinetic, or telepathic communication rather. So you really have no great clue.
Not yet, but the place has an anti-magic field, and those places tend to stand out. And it's just a matter of finding the right needle. And I have time and patience. Time which is wasting right now.
Right. I don't mean to keep you. Apologies.
She would put a hand on his shoulder and like manage to make like soften her features. We will free him, Varys. I need you to believe me.
You will, of course. You always do. The question case is... If it was me who was taken, would he even remember I'm his son?
It wouldn't fucking matter, Varys. Because I would move heaven and earth to get you the fuck out of there.
Thank you.
Chin up, darling. You are far more pretty when you smile.
All right, let's find this wizard. Arriving. Rune, you, I imagine you've actually returned to the Citadel quite recently. You will have had little issue sorting out the rest of your stay in Zoviking. Was there anything that you needed to do while you were there or inquire about before you returned?
Mainly focusing on any maps of Katapesh, the city itself.
Yeah. You've no issue finding a map of Katapesh. If you're trying to look for any clues that'll help you here with this prison break, it's going to be a skill check of some sort. Diplomacy to gather information being one of them. Or some other relevant knowledge check if you're looking for something that you reveal from within a book rather than talking to people.
Lore academics. Bit of a stretch, I think, but it might work.
Yeah, high DC, but let's test it. If you can crack it, good on
There's
you.
also society. There's a society check. And a history check. So we'll try
Katapesh is important. It is
first.
a big enough city that history will work. Yeah.
And then we'll try history as well. Nope. Maybe the history one.
No dice, really.
No dice. All right.
Not quite. With 33, what you do know is everyone knows something in Katapesh. Maybe, if you're lucky, you can bribe the right people and find out there's a hidden prison somewhere, hidden holding cells. You know? Why not?
Fair.
A lot of that studying is conducted in the basement of the Citadel, Alcetta's ring, as it were. You notice Varys has taken up shop in your little office there, but mostly spends his time in the way station of Jewelgate. Now, Tandon, you've tagged along. You notice Varys has returned with the Vesparin. And I guess to you, people really do come and go. I mean, only a bit ago, Jyn Starkey, William Thane, somehow tied to all this nonsense. Pieces in the puzzle, they sought best to leave you to your devices. You're a complicated man with an even more complicated mission. Theirs isn't just so gray. They left you behind. Yeah, it's funny. That's
just getting in my way.
Somehow what they said about you, in a way. But as Varys and the Vesparin arrive, what do you do?
Stand there and look pretty, mostly. He thinks that he is exactly where he wants to be. Thank you very much. Doesn't realize the company that he's really in, to an extent. So he's just kind of tagged along with Rune and is eating something. Not real sure where he got it from. Just kind of munching on a bag of salted nuts of some kind. Just kind of standing in the background, looking very kind of trying to look as nonchalant as possible.
Is he still wearing the gloves?
I'm gonna say yes.
Yep.
Okay.
So he does have this pair of like white gloves on.
So basically, what's gonna happen is, like, Vesparin, again, has that, like, quiet, nice moment with, Varys, and then, sort of returns to, like, a professional, demeanor when, she sees Rune come in. But when Tandon leans back and eats something, with the, with those gloved hands, her face, like, goes cold, and her eyes go just completely blank and dead. And she seems to disappear from sight for a second. And in the next second, she chokeslams him against the wall. Why are you wearing my daughter's gloves? Answer me. Why are you wearing my daughter's gloves?
I would like to try and reverse this grapple. Not to actually like hurt Vesparin, just to like slip out of the grip so that he can actually breathe again and answer her.
Sure. I'm sure she'll see it that way.
No, not at all.
46. Fortitude DC would be a 32 for the Vesparin, and you got a 46. So it looks like by the count, you've at least succeeded.
All he is trying to do is slip out of her grip. So he like reaches up with that kind of practiced move of twisting the wrist just enough to get out of it, and then throws his hands up. He's like, "No, I'm not trying to make any trouble. I'm not trying to make any trouble. They were a gift."
She's gonna throw Balgorna at him. Or sorry, Goldmantle.
Whew. All right. Yeah.
Oh fuck!
That's a hit.
That'll hit.
At least. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Again, like, so yeah, so she throws the knife and is just like, that is not a fucking answer. Talk or I will kill you.
Look, a gift. Someone gave them to me. I don't remember who. That's all I've got. I mean, I don't know your daughter. I don't know where they came from. I don't know who they belong to.
Vesparin.
But someone gave them to me. And that's all I know. I mean, I don't see no one's name on them.
You notice a weird. It sort of looks like a blister right now, rather than like a pulsing abscess, black and inky, along his neck. You don't know it used to be quite inflated. It's sort of reduced, but you see bony knuckles sort of dragging from just underneath the surface, like a hand just kind of gently brushing his neck, as if it's trying to reassure him. But by the way he's acting, it's almost as if he doesn't know it's there. Something, vestigial from the shadow plane, to be sure. Yeah.
So first of all, I would like perception to see if he's lying or like obscuring the truth.
Where are we at? We book 5?
Yeah.
Big thank you to Coma.
Now, 44. No, I think he's being quite honest. Yeah, as far as I can tell, that's the story as he knows it. He was given them.
Look, there's not a lot that I remember.
This mission.
So she recalls Balgora and like goes to strike it again and is like, I know you're working for the Chthonites. Which one of them sent you?
The who?
Whoa.
What? He's still got his hands up. Like,
He's wearing Augie's gloves!
I'm wearing my gloves. I don't
Fuck
know
you!
who Augie is.
Shut the fuck up!
Vesparin,
Right?
let's keep it calm, shall we?
I am calm, Rune. He is not providing answers, so I will kill him as he works for the Chthonites.
Are you getting that from a symbol or the gloves?
From the fact that he was raised unnaturally, has become a creature tied to the shadow plane with an obsession with Sailix, much in the same way that Hysteria was. That he's wearing
that
my
myself.
daughter's gloves.
Look, you lot want to
That's how I
Also
noticed.
about all
tied
of
to
this.
the... She throws the dagger at him again.
I'll sit down and talk.
Miss.
Rune will
Probably.
So
Yeah.
if it's a legit miss, Rune's hands will sort of reach out, and the dagger just sort of stops as it reaches Tandon and floats back over to the Vesparin. All right. First of all, I too noticed his tie to the shadow. I also particularly noticed the creature that he killed in the arena that was not initially a part of the group. And I
Thank
too
you.
noticed the gloves he wore. All of
As a
this
matter of
is part
fact,
of the reason
the
I
bloke
went.
who I killed in the arena is the one who gave
Tandon,
them to me.
hush, mate. Just be quiet. You're going to do yourself a favor. These are the reasons I sought him. He had a lot of connections to things that we are interested in, and I did not want him running off to the plane of shadow for too long. So he is here for multiple reasons.
What? What is that thing on his neck? Because you and I know they don't let them go without purpose, and that purpose involves causing pain.
Oh, best I can figure, Tandon here is an oracle. Now, oracles
I'll
are
give you all
unique.
the answers you want. You just gotta let me talk.
Oracles are unique in that they are touched by the divine, but not necessarily of their own choice. So the question is, Tandon, it would appear you are an oracle of Zon Chthon. Did you know that?
I mean,
Yes or no?
to
is
be
fine.
perfectly honest, no, I did not.
All right.
Nor did I
So,
particularly care.
who did you make a deal with, or who granted you power?
I don't know about the power, but I can tell you about the deal. I've been looking for you two, just the same as you've been looking for me. That buddy of yours with the fancy sword. I was sent to look for the jewel in the hilt of that weapon. Plain and simple.
Where are you now?
Look, I come from a small village, and that village was destroyed. After my death, untimely as it may have been. When I told you about that big tusked bastard back in the gnome village, what I told you about him was true. Every word of it. Beat
Except the
life out of
part
me,
where
tossed
you
me off a
killed him.
cliff.
Which
Look,
was
I didn't
a
know who I
lie.
was talking to, right? I was getting free drinks and you all walked in on me. What was I supposed to do?
Let's stay
Look.
focused, shall we?
What I told you about him was true. Killed me, tossed me off a cliff. I wake up. Well, I think I woke up. Who knows how much longer afterwards. Being picked apart, torn apart, put back together 100,000 times, more than I can count, more pain than I've ever experienced in my entire life. And then I find out that my entire village, including the woman I love, has been razed to the ground. I thought it was a lie. I thought it was just more torture. And then I was given an opportunity to come back and told that she, of all people, had lived. And if I get this fancy jewel for the doctor, then I'll have another chance at life and I'll get to see my love again. I feel like I've been paraded about by the nose, and I feel like I've had what I've ever wanted my entire life dangled in front of me, only to be taken away time and time again. So you ask me how I got here, I don't rightly know. You ask me what I'm doing here, I don't rightly know.
Listen,
All I know
Doctor,
is that bastard that I put in the ground earlier sent me after some fancy rock who your friend has got in his possession.
listen, you said doctor. Doctor who?
Dr. what is it? Like Kugel? I always just called him the doctor.
That name gets a poke out of that boil. Untanned to the neck. See a little
All right.
prick.
Couple
from the
questions for
inside.
you, GM. History check on a town in Arcadia that was razed to the ground.
No. That's really niche trivia, but we can roll it. We can roll it.
I'm gonna go ahead and give myself a little guidance on this one.
Yeah.
Can I
Do we
do
look to pierce the
like
neck?
would society work for like hearing about rumors or whatever? Because I feel like a major like a town's being razed to the ground is like
Society. Yeah, we can give it a go. There's no news cycle is the issue. And for every...
Good. I'm gonna hero point that one just because.
Okay.
Ian, do I know, like I as the player, I know who destroyed the town. Does Tandon know the name of the organization? Oh shit!
That's what I'm talking about. That right there.
We'll cut it here with the look of realization on Rune's face. Rune, you are very aware of the sacking, the mysterious destruction of the colony, the Chelish colony of Segata in Arcadia. With that realization, I'm going to cut away. We'll get back to it, but that's just a massive piece of the puzzle, just airdropped right in the middle here, that look of shock. But, you know, across the inner sea, we have a our own demons, not Dr. Lekogel's demons, but our own demons. Sailix. Kali wakes up. When she does, it's strangely quiet. This place, it was so violent last, you remember, Kali. People were dropping left and right, and now there's a couple of guards. They're playing some domino-like game in a table across the room. But more or less, they're just leaving you to the stink of this prison. What do you do as you wake up?
Well, she'll feel those bindings that Uri was so thoughtful to put back on there. The limbs and the gag.
So the one on the gag is looser than it should be. Like, Kali can speak. Noticing her wake up, Sailix kind of just goes, shh. Don't make it obvious. If they know, they'll come back. My knee's still busted, so I won't be able to do anything. Just whisper for now.
Very well. It probably could have gone better.
Well, life could have gone better. Neither of us would have ended up in a cell. But win some, you lose some.
That's true.
So this is the dilemma we face now. It's me and you in here. As far as I can tell, each guard has a key. Uri has a key. Uri comes in once every few hours to check on us, to make sure we're fine, the guard rotation's good. But none of them get any close enough to the cell anymore to grab the key. So, I'm helpless at this point. You've been out for a few hours now. Can't really tell, there's not a clock on the wall.
Yes. I have an idea. It's not my favorite, but it's an idea. I have access to... Let me ask you this. How set are you on facing the upcoming duel?
Not if we can get out of here alive. The upcoming duel will take care of itself. Barring that, if we can get you out of here alive, I'll take care of myself.
With that busted knee?
Had worse?
So, I have access to a certain spell that allows me to visit different layers of reality, different planes. Given that I am without items, components, the only way I would be able to make the spell work would be drawing on my own blood. It hurts. It hurts a lot. But if it works, we may be transported to a different plane of reality. I don't know where. The spell is not the most precise, but we will at least be out of here. Now, my kind are more attuned to the Feywilds. That would be my choice. But you are not without your own histories, your own contacts, perhaps on other layers of reality. So I would ask you if you had a suggestion on where to go.
That's a loaded question. I have no reason for thinking it would be a viable option, but the Maelstrom comes to mind. You
Maelstrom.
know, that infinite void of chaos. But that's
It was
probably a bad
certainly-
idea.
This is true. My only worry is you and your friends seem to have a method of communication that's disrupted by this place. If I attempt to
As
transport, that may not work.
far as I know, it is a day's worth. Feel like we've been here longer than that. Anyway, again, I appreciate the offer, but cannot leave. They have something of mine. I intend to get it back. But I will aid you in any way that I can.
Well, if I get the feeling if I do it too soon, I will most likely die from the blood loss. Though I'll need at least a little time to recover. But when I do leave, give him a cowling smile for me. When you get the chance.
Do you know him?
Funnily enough, we did meet. He was at the party we threw, me and the Vesparin. It would seem your triad is very deeply involved with the factions of the city. Getting them unentrenched may be more difficult than first imagined, but not impossible. Especially if, say, there happened to be a slave revolt, much in the same way as Cowling had.
I'm not quite sure what you mean, but slave revolt. With the right application of force and leverage, shouldn't be too hard to have happen. Anyway, with this knowledge, you could go outside and make it happen externally. But inside, there are others like us, waiting to be sold off, taken to market, or die of starvation. I would see it not so. So, I'm going to attempt to escape. And in that moment, Sailix will kind of look to Kali and give his most young and youthful, reckless grin. And I am, if not anything, but resourceful.
Fair. You're also, unfortunately, rather reckless, which is why I'm slightly hesitant to leave you alone.
Ah, it'll be fine. I was once a prisoner in Tree Razor's dungeons. Much more inhospitable than these.
Are we done? Guard calls out, folding her hand across the table. It looks like she's
Listen
lost a
here,
round of some game.
I don't think you understand how hard it is to understand common through a gagged mouth. So if you could just shut your mouth and stay over there playing your dominoes, which, by the way, you are horrible at. I would have folded with 4 ones in my hand. It'll be greatly appreciated.
Okay. All right. Next time you talk, little angel, I will cut your tongue out.
Well then, challenge accepted.
Here it is.
And on that,
Okay.
Sailix stands on a knee. The kneecap that's gone has been sealed off with a black crystal. You're welcome to try, little one.
Celine, the other guard, throws her a dagger, flips it in her hand as she walks towards you. But we'll get back to that. As our little guards scurry over to remove Sailix's tongue from his chatty face, it seems Rune Ravenswood has come upon a revelation. And that's, yeah, it's that, well, Segata is a piece of this puzzle. And everything has to be connected somehow, doesn't it? Rune, Vesparin, Tandon, you're all here. You all see, Rune, realize this. Rune, what do you do?
So, just a side note with the guidance, one eye of Rune's just goes completely white and pupilless as he looks to Tandon. I remember reading on that town. There was a little colony off of Arcadia. A Chalish one, yeah?
Tin looks just taken aback. Like, what did you just say? Yeah, Chelish. Sagada.
Yeah,
You can't
Sagada.
beat that. It's on the other side of the world, mate.
It is.
We're losing time, Rune.
I remember coming across a story like that Chella's talking about when we were in Kintargo, a colony on the other side of the world. Not long after, it was just gone, as if it never existed.
They burned it off the face of the world.
Why does this matter?
I don't suppose it does anymore.
You died there, wound up in the shadow. Zon-Kuthon, or at least a
Well, I guess.
harbinger of theirs, brought you back and offered you a new deal. Interestingly,
Yeah, but
witches go through the same sort of process. Theirs is a bit more complementary. Oracles, however, tend to have it forced upon them. My point in all of this, Vesparin, is Tandon here may not necessarily be a willing participant in Zon-Kuthon's machinations.
well,
Then we
However-
would be doing him a favor
Not
by
initially.
killing him.
There is such a
Well-
thing as a double agent.
I would like to point out that I did put the bastard in the ground that gave me the deal in the first place because it wasn't, let's be honest, a very good deal.
But
Figured
let's
I might
also
able
be
to jump up a
honest.
level.
If it could bring you back, why would it not bring back its more powerful servant? You may have killed
Well,
that
I mean,
body.
I'm sure it... Oh, no. I'm sure it can come back. I just wanted to see the look on his face.
And
As a point
that's
of note,
great.
I believe it's
What a
coming out of his
wonderful way
shoulder.
to ingratiate you to the rest of us.
Really, truly, he just had it coming. I mean, let's be honest. He was a right bastard. But your friend that you've got locked up over there, you called him, well, he called himself a god killer, didn't he?
Yeah, he does that a lot.
Well, I mean, if he can kill one, what's to say he can't get me out of my deal?
But
Alright,
you are being unwillingly led to acquire an object of power within his possession.
oh, I wouldn't say unwilling.
Why should we trust
always...
you in
Oh,
any
you shouldn't.
way?
Not at all. I mean, I trust you as far as I can throw you. You've already stabbed me twice, or tried to.
You
But
deserved
we
it.
do have a common goal. That I will not deny. I rightly often deserve it, but
That is the smartest thing
if it
that you
makes
have
you
said
feel
this
better, you
entire
know, then-
conversation.
oh, I do. Even a stop clock's right twice a day.
We are wasting
But-
time, Wizard. Either I kill him
I'm
now,
well aware.
or I kill him when he stabs us in the back. You are saying that we should trust him. Why?
I'm not saying we trust.
I mean, you,
However-
yeah, trust. Nah, I don't know.
What he said.
Look, I'm
Fact
not
of the
You
matter
brought
was,
him here
I
for
wasn't-
a purpose.
So the purpose was, I didn't know how any of you were going to get out. And I certainly couldn't deal with an anti-magic prison on my own. And he was the only one who made any effort to help us out in the short term.
Thank you.
And so here we are. You,
I really do mean well.
Vesparin, are an unexpected appearance in this little flow of events.
she like just looks at him with like the most belligerent, like, how dare you expression, as she like
I mean, to be
waves
fair, we're
the as she waves like gold medal at him, like, there is no prison that can and with that she kind of like falls over.
What?
She all right. She do this a lot.
I'm just and she like looks at Rune pointedly. There are bouts of weakness with my gift sometimes.
Does she
You are
look
running out of
wounded?
It'll
chances.
Ian, I still have the wounds from the gladiator lady?
Sometimes it's weird. If you haven't died enough to really draw a pattern. If your death was a comorbidity, it seems your curative, what caused you to die, which would be compound effects. 1,000 cuts to bleed out, they tend to go away. If you died of a beheading, usually just the head comes back on. A lot of wounds sustained. That said, yeah, you still feel pretty beat. Like, you're bruised. You're bruised, and you're kind of down for the count, but you're alive. So that poisoning, that thing that you did to yourself, no issues there. Yeah, you're still pretty well hurt from combat. There's somebody that's coming down the stairs, by the way.
It just kind of like seems well, what I was gonna say is that it just kind of seems like basically it was like adrenaline and purpose animating her. And at that point it's just kind of gone.
Rune at least kneels down to help her back up. You're not running out of chances yet, are you?
Your guess is as good as mine, wizard.
Try not to tempt fate
But-
too often, shall we?
But she is so very gorgeous.
As pretty as she might be, you still have a job to do here. And keep taking risks like that won't get you very far.
Tridal descends to the base of the stairs and looks at you all with a frown.
Chidel, it's been a while.
My baby.
How goes the hunt for the planar knights?
It's coming along. How goes finding Sailix?
Ah, so you
Slower
heard
than
already.
expected.
Interesting to note, he is aware already.
All right. So yes, I was not expecting you to return here, of all places, Vesparin. I did expect to see you back at the safe house. Although just having you, I was expecting you with your great skill and all would be able to get everyone out, but clearly I overestimated your capabilities.
I beg
As
your
he
fucking
smiles.
pardon?
Like, she looks like she wants to stab him again, but like it's just but
Tridal
like
has
instead
Varus, by the way.
she just like gives him that look that's like, you will pay for this later.
All right. Shall we head back to Katapesh then?
Yeah,
If all of you are in agreement, I will just take us there now.
And Tridal, do you have any contacts within the city, or perhaps your lovely wife?
She nor I. No. Thuvia, but that's not close enough. Not nearly. This arena. Wouldn't they hold slaves?
They would have to, wouldn't they?
Look. I'll give you the context as I know it. We fought some wars in the Maelstrom. Here and there. Sailix, you'd find it hard to believe, but he did the right thing more often than not.
I do find that hard to believe.
If you were taken from an arena, they'd hold you in the arena. I don't know.
Ian, when I was in the cart, did I get a sense of what direction it was going?
Yeah, it looks like it was just trying to load you in a ditch, probably somewhere.
Okay.
You were tangential to the arena, so it's hard to really know
Gotcha.
if you were headed that way or away. Yeah. All right.
Did we sense
what.
any sort of anti-magic in the area?
You'd know. But you were far. I
Okay.
mean, you were towards, like, you were really being dropped off almost on the outskirts of town. You were near the wall.
Well, I meant when we were fighting in the arena.
No.
Okay.
Not to speak of. It'd be hard to sense such a thing by its nature. All right, you
Okay.
just bring Sailix back in one piece, okay?
Every time, for the most part.
She gives Rune a look.
Sailix is in a lot of pieces
for the most
to
part.
be saying that. First of all. Yeah. All right. So Sailix, the wingless winged celestial. Let's cut back to you because you've picked a fight with a guard and I want to address it. Where we last left off, you had the gall to tell this guard that she didn't have the
playing
guts.
dominoes.
You said something like that. She'll approach you. You can roll initiative if you'd like to have a chance at getting ahead here. But,
So, Sailix is gonna be back against the wall. Like, he won't approach the door. His goal is to make them open the door.
right.
If they want to approach him, he wants to leave himself an opening to escape. Yeah, I'll roll it.
Okay. She stops, looks at you, and will make a knowledge check. Little intellect. Yeah. You're about second to her there. Kali, you can do the same. But,
Okay.
you know.
And which check?
An initiative check.
Gotcha. Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, Sailix, you hanging out in the back there. She'll open on up. Make way to you. This is how we're gonna do it. She's gonna attempt to grapple you, Sailix. If she manages to grapple you, and while grabbed, manages to get an attack on you with that dagger. We'll play it out. First, the grapple check.
So, when the gate opens, so I am second in initiative. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
$38 versus your Fortitude DC. DC is 40. She does not successfully grab you. Huh. The other one moves in, though, securing the opening so as to ensure that you don't walk away. Ready to watch the madness that will soon ensue. Kali goes before Sailix. Kali, what do you do here?
So both the guards are kind of distracted with Sailix, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And so her hands are her, like, could she do the somatic component of spells, or is that out of the table?
Without getting your hands free in your mouth, you're not sure you can. Somatic component's going to be a problem here.
Okay. And coming out of the rest, how many hit points would I have gotten back?
64.
64.
Based on your level of Constitution modifier. Yeah.
Okay, so she's going to do a thing. She's going to use blood component substitution. But rather than attempt to teleport, she's gonna try something a little fun. She's going to other question. Hypothetically, would a large or huge creature fit in the cell she's currently in?
Yes.
Either one?
Yep.
Oh, well then. Okay.
Large, not huge.
That's what. Okay, yeah, that's why I figured. So she will use blood component substitution to remove the verbal, somatic, and material components to a heightened to 6th level elemental form, specifically the earth elemental form. So, as the guards are occupied with Sailix, Callie starts to glow red for a moment before she expands and shifts and changes. And where there once stood an perhaps unassuming Kitsune now stands what basically looks like a giant terracotta soldier version of Kali.
Okay.
And so that's 2 actions. With her remaining one, she's going to use her burrowing speed to move straight down.
Burrow?
Earth elementals have a burrowing speed.
Woo! Okay. Oh no. Okay. All right. At 27. Okay, and Sailix. This lady's trying to cut your tongue out. What do you do?
Let's see. Is there a way to reverse the grapple? Or try to... I guess I would try to be grappling them, right? So
Yeah, you want
what
to try
would
to
my
grab her?
grapple check be? Yeah, what would my
Athletics
grapple check
check
be?
versus a Fortitude DC.
All right, here we go.
You are successful.
All right. With grabbing her, do I gain access to the dagger she has in her hand? Like, not like holding the hilt in his hand, but like he grabs the wrist and is like got her with the dagger point in her own hand at her own throat. Like he spins it to where she's now like holding the dagger, but it's up against her own jugular instead of him. Kind of sort of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, we can run it. And then if you're actually trying to do anything with it, you're going to have to make a disarm check. But yeah, the immobilization of a grapple that way would be possible. Taking her, sort of a hostage here, now in this situation.
Sailix is going to look at the other guard. Like, this is going to go one of two ways. You've just lost one prisoner. You can escape here with your lives, or you can die. Up to you. You can leave your keys and just walk away. I won't say anything. No one else will. They'll never find you or me. But we both know what's going to happen if Uri comes back and finds one prisoner that's been dead and another one that's escaped, and you're over here playing with little old me. So, what's it going to be? Death by me or Uri? Or just walk away?
Tension in the room. It's still, I mean, other than the sound of the burrowing as Kali begins to escape. Make a diplomacy check or an intimidation check, Sailix, if you're trying to really convince this other one.
Oh.
What was that?
Look, man, that's the second one this game. I got nothing. I tried.
His knee gives out. He sounds really cool and super tough, but that knee just goes.
That second.
Yeah, you just described being 40. Thank you.
Ah!
Second woman backs away. You'll be fine, Keela. No trouble. She'll seek to leave. She moves out, away out of sight. You hear, followed by the sound of a chain. Something lifting, a large wooden apparatus. The woman with the dagger to her throat. Okay. What are we doing?
We
Or
doing nothing.
No.
Sailix was going to place his hand on her sword. His other hand is going to remove the dagger and kind of in a swift motion push her into the, like with spinning her around, push her into the cell, move himself out, and shut the door to where she's trapped in the cell, and he's on the other side of the wall.
Great attempt. She uses that opportunity. It is on her initiative right now, as she's ahead of
Right.
you. And second, she
She rolled a
attempts.
natural one.
Yep, she did. She did
At
secure a
least
natural
it's
one there.
not
with
only
+1.
me.
No, it's not. Oh, she tries to take that. She sure does. But no, so you managed to spin her around and shut the gate on her. Is that correct?
Yeah. So he like either take her sword or keep the dagger, whatever. But he wants to leave her in there by herself.
Okay. She just kind of flops back. Sailix, your speed is hampered because your knee is still busted, so you're limping. You shut the gate. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Kali, and you're just far on. You're just way down there. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. All right. You're just digging through. But funny, Sailix, she starts to laugh. You. Okay. All right. I guess I'm safe then. Look behind you. You notice.
Stepping away from the gate for what?
No, yeah. Rising up. Coming out of the pit, there was a large steel barrier. It looked like a wall with sconces even, but it raises open. You start to realize sort of the purpose behind this cell. An immense beetle crawling out, but really a beetle isn't a good way to place it. This thing, much larger than you, spouting flames from the hard spiked shell. This thing is already radiating heat. The floor suddenly feels warm as it moves towards you. 6 limbs. It lets out a as it moves towards you. Sailix might have some time here to think, reflect on what happened, but that Katapeshi woman just starts laughing. Yeah. All right. So we're all fucking dead. Well done.
Sailix laughs as he kind of turns back. No love. There's only one of us behind bars right now. And it ain't me. And he'll kind of hobble his ass down the hallway, leaving the fresh blood that's in that cage from him to hopefully attract that beetle towards her, leaving him some extra time to get away.
Good luck with that, God Killer. Good luck with that.
But he is going to kind of shamble on down the same way that the other guard went. What's my speed at this point?
Oh no, you're not on initiative. We're re-rolling initiative from the top. You are right there. But I want to ask, Kali, you get a ways down and you start to feel something. I need you to make Do you have a spell? You have a spell roll, like a spell DC? What's your spellcaster proficiency?
Yeah, sorcerer DC is 37.
So you have a plus 27. Make a roll with a plus 27 modifier for me.
Okay. Yeah, we'll just roll a d20 and add the 27.
Yep.
So 10 plus 27 is 37.
It's not looking good for you. Something about this field surrounding this building seems to eat away at you. This place is exceptionally good at keeping people contained within. You've burrowed. I don't know which direction you've burrowed, but something about hitting that wall, that anti-magic field, just dispels your form. Your collie, once again, here at the pit where you dug a hole. You hear trouble up above. What do you do?
So that's the base, so to speak. I think I know what she's going to do. So at the bottom of this pit, if she were, say, to transform into something huge but elongated, would she be able to fit?
You're trying to make your way up?
Not necessarily. She's considering if she were to transform to, say, a purple worm, if she could maybe do something about those foundations.
Purple worm. Are we transforming into a purple worm, Kali?
That's what she'd like to do.
I love it. This is great. This is a great day.
Just remember, fear is the mind killer.
Okay. Yeah, let's transform, and you'll burrow again, but upwards. It's quite clear that this thing is going to try to negate what you're doing. You've hit bedrock, the magical bedrock here.
Yep. So she'll transform. She will specifically use monstrosity form. Transform to a purple worm. This time the burrow speed is 30 feet. And she's basically going to start just digging tunnels around the base of this prison, weakening the foundation bit by bit.
This is the greatest day. I love
Okay.
it.
No. The
I
rumbling.
love it so much.
Okay, no, purple worm. No, we're just gonna start chomping along. Quite literally,
Very
just
hungry
undermining.
purple worm.
Yeah. Okay, Sailix, I'm gonna give you an opportunity
To
here
do what?
before we
Die?
resume to initiative. Yeah, well, you can posture yourself. You can get away from this thing. You're kind of herded. The doors have shut. There's really nowhere else to go.
Right. Oh, shit. Oh. I don't know, guys.
What do we do? You talk to
Is
this.
there a...
Talk to this creature. Knowledge check about this creature. Any idea what we're looking at?
Sure, I will do that. what is it? Nature? Survival?
Let's make it nature.
Oh, these rolls tonight.
Sailix. Oh,
I'm gonna use
Sailix.
my hero point that I got from chat to re-roll that.
Okay. Good chat.
I mean, it's better than fucking that, but whatever.
All right. Well, what do we know about this creature? Sailix. It's rare, frightful presence. I will need you to make a save, actually. An emotion save versus fear. It's a fear effect, so you should have a decent advantage here, but you don't know anything other than the fact that, well, for killing monsters, I mean, if it spouts fire, it's probably got a resistance. Often that means there's an opposite weakness, being cold. Excellent save on the frightful presence. You'll have nothing to fear from this creature, but the real question is, what do you do? Do you step back? Do you move into the cage? Do you see where Kali went? We don't know where Kali went. Kali just went underground.
Well, so their original plan was for Kali to kind of get out of there anyway. So, Sailix, I guess, how big is the ceiling in here? Like, would he be able to, like, kind of climb up and avoid its wrath?
Okay, so this takes time as you're looking. You've been avoiding its wrath. I'm going to have you move around to search. You're following. The ceiling is very complicated. A lot of stonework, some oubliettes. You can tell this place was built with ventilation, irrigation, and of course the opportunity to drop sewage on poor prisoners. Moving over to one corner as this thing sort of moves, stalking you. You see something. There's a hatch in the ceiling. But it's opening. Slowly. It lifts. You see, a couple of guards, Zephyr guards, are looking down on you. They shut it again to make sure you don't come up. Sort of waiting at the top. You've got one action left, Sailix. What do you do?
I mean, he's gonna try to climb up, I guess. Take his chance in the shaft instead of down here with a beast where he's got nothing but a dagger.
All right. You feel something strange underneath. The ground is kind of shaking, shifting. You imagine it has something to do with Kali digging. It's like a deep rumbling, but you feel something strange, something different. Do you have detect magic, Sailix?
No.
You wouldn't feel this, but there's a change. You feel physically the foundation is rocking, but mentally something strange is happening as well. The essence of what's around you seems to shift. Go ahead, Rune.
All right. To catch up to where we're at, Rune took drawing around the circle at the Citadel, casting the teleportation spell. The three of them arrive in motion, exiting out of the safe house that they had scoped out. As soon as Rune crosses the threshold of that building, his form shifts, using humanoid shape to look. It's really just to change his features, so he doesn't necessarily look like Rune. The rest of his garb will stay about the same. At that time, his two ravens immediately take off, and using detect magic from each of them, begin to scope out the city, giving a little triangulation to the three of to Tandon, Vesparin, and Rune to find the prison. Upon arriving at the prison, Rune immediately sees feels the anti-magic shell, and the symbol of Nethys that sort of that's emblazoned on his spellbook, hanging out his side, just sort of glows with a fiery hatred. For those who don't know, anti-magic shells are an antithesis to Nethys. And so Rune will plant his staff in the ground and grip it very tightly. And a blue arcane energy begins to flow into the staff itself. The gem on the top pulsing and radiating as just within 5 feet in front of him, waves of this pulsating arcane energy just batter at the anti-magic shell as Tandon and the Vesparin can see the dome around this building just being visible like a shield, getting buffeted, and cracks begin to form as Rune attempts to dispel the shell that surrounds the prison. And given its power, it's just these small cracks begin to form at the ground and sort of chip away at the shell itself. But with each crack, it seems to regenerate and close back up again. And Rune plants himself, and just you see this very stern focus as there's this boom. That hair on the back of your neck stands on end. His one eye again glows. The one that used to be under the patch, the one that was missing for so long, it just glows a bright white. Again, the mask of Nethys that's emblazoned on his spellbook begins to just burn brightly. And there is a whisper of the Ravenswood that can be heard as a crack begins to form into an opening just barely wide enough as he looks to Tandon and Vesparin. Go, now. I'll be right behind you.
So when he looks to Vesparin, she isn't there anymore. Basically, she seemingly reappears directly behind one of what I imagine are very startled guards waiting in front. There's just like that quiet moment where he feels the hairs on the back of his neck stand up from a soft breath against his skin before his throat is ripped open without ceremony. And she looks to the next one, but I imagine Tandon wants to do something.
Tandon just smirks, looks at Rune, looks at what Vesparin has done, and casts Cloak of Shadow, one of his focus points, so he is now surrounded in magical darkness. And you see that darkness just flow towards the crack that Rune has created and surrounds another one of the guards, two of them, maybe. And from within that shade of darkness, that pool of darkness, very uncomfortable, wet, crunching noises can be heard. And as the shadow kind of moves, as Tandon moves, there's just a streak of red across the ground behind it as he moves into this area, and you can hear kind of. Actually, Vesparin would be the only one that would be able to hear him just chuckling under his breath to himself as he goes by.
I feel like Bee just kind of like rolls her eyes and shakes her head like.
For his
Well, there isn't a
part,
lot of time to dally.
For his part,
Notice
Rune
just
stays where
underneath
he's
the
at.
trap. There's
Rune just stays where he's at as one half of him just begins to spark and be covered in arcs of electricity, charring his skin as he just stands there doing his best to hold back the anti-magic shell.
All right. So like seeing Rune start to char. Do we see where the others are?
well, so these guards are taken care of on this floor, but you see down below the hatch, it looks like there's a little Sailix Lavendil looking up, trying to figure out how to get out of the mess that he's in. So you imagine Kali's probably about down there, and this place does look familiar, so you know you're roughly in the right place. Looks like the trail of clues were correct.
All right.
But judging by the heat venting up, it's pretty clear Sailix is in some trouble. I'm gonna roll initiative.
Real fast. In my various thief, tooling, burglary stuff, is it say I have a rope?
I think I might actually have something for this.
I mean, I imagine, full stop, that, like, either between the bondage side or the burglary side, Vesparin has some kind of rope.
Well, how far down would you say that Sailix is right now? From where we
20
are?
feet.
So I just so happen to have this lovely feather in my cap. If you look up feather token ladder, Tandon plucks one of the feathers, the gaudy feathers from his cap that I mentioned earlier, and activates the talisman. It turns into a 20-foot ladder, and he just drops it down the side of the wall.
Leading right down to the god killer himself.
And sweeps his hat off in the process and does like a little flourish for Vesparin. After you, milady.
Perfect.
She goes invisible, and it is unknown if she uses the ladder or not.
Now, Tandon, to move down the ladder gives you one final action. What do you do?
Oh, I think that's. I think I'll actually stay up at the top, and I will unsling and draw my bow, and I'm gonna provide Overwatch.
Okay. 'Tis a noble cause. Sailix, you see you have backup coming. You don't see a Rune Ravenswood, but you have a feeling he's involved here with your rescue. What do you do?
Sailix yells for Kali, not knowing if she teleported out or not, but just kind of yells, the moment to leave is now, if you're still here. And then he starts climbing up the ladder. I mean, he, like...
Climbing up the... Yeah, that's good. That's smart.
Kali's safe down under the ground right now, but he's locked in here with this thing, so he's like...
It's very smart. Vespa, as you're coming down, Sailix is going to headbutt you. What do you do? He doesn't see you since you are not visible.
I figured that that she just jumped down because it's only 20 feet and
Yeah.
I have catfall. So I imagine if he's climbing up, she probably lands on his face.
Come.
What? What was that?
What do you do when you land?
I guess if he's coming up, like, does she see Kali?
You don't see Kali
see it.
anywhere.
You see a hole where
General.
Kali was.
Yeah, and you feel
Okay.
a rumbling for sure.
Okay. So I guess she would try to get off of his face and jump down to look for Kali.
All right. Yeah, maybe a survival check as we search for this thing. Yeah, this beetle probably doesn't see you. Maybe. You think? Okay.
Ian, can I say that I knocked a particularly special arrow?
Yeah, we haven't done anything with it. It makes sense.
Okay, thank you.
You notice this beetle can feel your movement, Vesparin. It locks in.
Well, hang on, because I have that feat that says I can fool senses.
Tremor sense.
I don't know, it said senses.
So, it wouldn't matter either way because it's not long before the beetle is drawn to the gaping hole on the other side of the cage. Quickly, it scurries in it and it crawls down the hole where Kali is, making short work of just ripping open the wire underneath, and then just falls along. Doesn't need to burrow, just drops in. Kali's being hunted. More than likely, judging by its movement speed, it's gonna catch up, but just enough for the frightful presence to work. Vespa, Tandon, Kali, make will save for me.
A will save.
Kali, you can feel this thing hunting you, seeking you
no.
under the ground. That will fail
I'm
really
gonna
bad.
hero point.
Yep.
Ah! Chat. Hey chat. If you wanna hero point, it's your girl.
You got 15 seconds, chat.
Come on. Hi.
10, 9,
Oh god.
8,
Good. No. Yeah, you can
7,
redeem channel points to
6,
save your favorite rogues.
5, 4, 3,
Rip.
1. Whew! All right. Uh-oh. Vespa, you are frightened 4 with a critical failure. Nat 1.
Oh god.
That's a -4 penalty to anything that matters, essentially. Yeah, it's pretty rough. You're effectively a level 12 character right now. Okay, cool. Rune. Got you at 28 for initiative.
So I can make an official dispel check against the anti-magic shell if you'd like. He's using his staff of abjuration and attempting to officially dispel. So it's a contested roll. My spellcaster modifier with a die roll versus the DC of the person who casts the spell.
Right.
And we're gonna hope for the best.
Let's going to be really hard.
Well, it's going to be something.
You've got a hero point?
No, I don't. $38.
38.
So,
okay.
Dispel magic is the contested stuff is a little weird. I'm trying to find out where dispel magic is because it's a spell. That's there we go. It's in my staff. I have too many spells.
I never thought I'd hear it.
Wow, did it really take
Hashtag
getting to
with their
3
problem.
digits? Triple digits to spells and now you say it? This is the point?
This is when it
Reach
happens.
rune bottom. Yeah.
Oh god, I have to look up the contested. I apologize.
Yeah,
I
the
should have
counteract
looked at
check.
Contested rules. Yeah, counteract.
Yep, the DC. I know the DC for it already. I've got no
It's the
issue.
chart that I'm looking for. Oh, there we go. Okay, so if it's a success, I dispel a level 7 spell. If it is a failure, a level 6 spell, and if it's a critical failure, I don't counteract anything. If it is by some weird chance a critical success, which I highly doubt on that roll, it would be a 9th level spell.
So, wait, so if it were a 7th level spell, what do you need?
I would a success. I just need a success on a 7th level spell. If I got a success, it works.
Got a success.
No shit. So for no one outside, because everyone's inside now, Rune digs in again. His body seems to have split in two, where one side is perfectly normal. That's the side that the eye is glowing on, while the other side is charred and burning, as he throws the staff to the side and his hands reach out and grab where the crack has been made and just starts ripping at the anti-magic shell, watching the tear just continue up the one side all the way to the apex before the dome is shattered to the ground and the spell is gone. He holds his hand out. The charred remains that were taking over half his body just sort of flake away to his normal self again as the staff returns to his hand and he walks into the prison. That's his action.
Fantastic. Kali.
Yes.
The question is, what are you doing about now? I think I've got a good idea.
So she's being hunted by that fire beetle, oddly adorable thing. Yeah, I think she will kind of, come up a little bit, hang a right, and kind of emerge.
Throwback. Doesn't she look just like that one that killed Augie? Almost. Didn't actually. Good times. The purple worm emerges from the battle, followed shortly by this large, fiery beetle-looking creature. Kali, you have one action left in your fleeing of this creature, who's not quite caught up yet. What do you do?
Well, funny you should say is following me. She's going to flick out this long barbed tail and attempt to do a stinger attack.
Okay. All right, let's do it.
So, attack modifier is 28. D20 plus 33?
What have we got? To hit?
Yeah.
Nope.
I don't suppose I can use a hero point on that one, can I?
Do you have a hero point? Yeah, you
I
haven't
haven't
spent
used
one,
one
have
yet. No.
You've got one. Yeah.
Okay.
Hit it.
I'll use that to reroll. D20 plus
Let's try it.
8. 35?
35, it's closer, but just not there. But it's good. This is a good opportunity for you to realize just in how bad a spot you are with this thing following up this tunnel. But you do emerge. You see a wizard. You don't see a rogue, but that's what rogues do. You see a Sailix. You see Tandon providing cover fire from up by the hatch. Speaking of Tandon, you see this beetle emerge on the flank side of Kali, trying desperately to kill anything he can get his hands on. What do you do? Barely with that line of sight.
The arrow that I was talking about. So
all right.
I'm going to use an antler arrow.
Okay.
When an activated antler arrow hits a target, bone antlers extend to pin it down. The target must succeed at a DC 16 reflex save or become stuck to the surface, taking the critical specialization effects of a bow.
DC 16?
So yes. Well, I have to hit first with the arrow.
Got it.
So, short bow. My range would be... Oh, hell, I'll just roll it. See.
Yeah.
And that's probably not going to do it. I will use...
Nope.
Do I have a hero point, or is that still a villain point, and can I use it to reroll that?
It is a hero point, and have you spent a hero point this session?
I have not.
Then you have one. You should be good to go.
A 9 plus... I don't think that's going to do it, unfortunately.
Yeah, unless you got plus 31 to hit, it will not. Just kidding, I didn't say what you needed. Let me clear those targets. So, it's pretty funny. That woman behind the bars will just keep laughing at you, Sailix. It's funny, isn't it? Now you're the one in danger. Should have just let us cut out your tongue. Sailix, it's your turn. What do you do?
Is Kali still a purple worm?
I believe so. Yeah. Why?
I won't mean like. Now there's 2 monsters down there. He has even less of a reason to stay down there and try to fucking fish her out.
You also had an invisible object land on your face.
Yeah, he's really not worried about that because it's gone now. He's just, and now, is Rune's down there or is he upstairs too? Like, there's.
That's a good question.
Oh, Rune's down
Was Rune
there.
able to make it down, or? Okay, all right.
Yeah.
He's literally just at the base of the ladder at that point. Then.
Yeah, no, Sailix is gonna just keep climbing up. Just kind of yelling out from behind him, and he's like, the best course of action is to not be in the area, as he's continuing up. Which, I mean, I feel like with all... How far up is the hatch where Tandon is?
Like a 25-foot ladder.
Yeah, so within his 3 rounds, he's able to go all the way up there. To which I guess he will, like, try to not block Tandon's shot, but be available to help if anybody needs crawling out. Plus, watching Tandon's back if anybody else is in the room.
All right. Vespa, you're not seen here. You've managed to stand so still that even a tremor sense wouldn't pick up where you are. You've let this thing make a full circuit, chasing Kali. Kali's emerged. Yet, unless somebody could see invisibility somehow and really cover a lot of hurdles, they won't detect you. Sailix is of the mind to get out of here because people aren't well. But what do you do?
So, okay. Do I see, like, have the creature and the purple worm emerged?
Yes, they have.
Okay. So... with my survival check, when I did I get enough of an idea that Kali went into that hole and, like, was something roughly that size?
Oh yeah, I mean,
Like,
Kali's
is
a
that a lot?
shapeshifter. It's pretty,
Okay,
yeah,
like,
no, it's pretty
I
standard.
just want to make sure it's a logical assumption I can make. I see, like, so yeah, I feel like, since she's frightened 4, she is going to stand super still, and kind of, you know, dig her nails into her hand a little bit to sort of get that, like, pain to, you know, give her something else to focus on, and mark the creature for death. Because it doesn't seem entirely clear, I think, what we're gonna do, but I feel like doing that is a good idea until she gets a better idea of what's happening and isn't as afraid.
Yeah, it's true. Kali and Rune,
Yes.
I need reflex saves from you as this beetle opens its mouth and lets out a cone of fire. And I suppose, because it is an area, I need one from Vespa as well.
What is he using? Or what do you need, sorry?
A breath weapon, so a reflex save. 38, 39. Okay, regular success, regular success.
Subtract my penalty from that, but I feel like that's probably
Ooh.
good.
No, that's great. Yeah, and then you don't even take half damage. Kali, no, Rune, you fail it by 1. Kali, you succeed. Yay. Rune, do you have anything here?
We have energy aegis, so it's a minus, I think 5 off the top.
Okay. All right, and you have oh, that's temp. That's temp. That is not wounds. Okay, temp will help you here because we're looking at Vespa takes none of this. You take 44 points of fire damage.
Right.
Partially absorbed, so it's factored in. Kali, you take half of that. So
Okay, so 22.
22. All right, you're critically wounded there. And then there's persistent fire damage. You two are on fire now. And with I've actually got nothing else. Okay, all right. That's that creature's actions. Sounds like Sailix's advice is becoming a little bit more feasible over time. But I'll ask Rune, on your turn, what do you do?
There is a collie between me and the beetle. Is that right?
There is a what between you? There's a collie, yes.
A collie.
Purple worm.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. We're gonna go with. We're gonna do this. Actually, let me see if this is gonna work first. Let me start there. I need the beetle to make a. Well, I'll do the thing, and then the thing will happen. A target. Is that a critical failure on that thing?
It is.
Is that a
yeah.
critical failure?
Yes, it
All right.
I got a nat
So-
one. Got a nat one. Enjoy,
Yeah,
chat.
all
Enjoy.
right.
You can see it
That's
now. Nat
awesome.
one.
Yeah, that's cool. So, Rune, his arms sort of cross in front of him as the flames lick at his robes, and some of it sort of buffets around as the energy aegis takes the effect. He again slams his staff into the ground, and the shadows all around this area just seem to creep in as Tandon, who's nearby, can feel the plane of shadow being tapped into from everywhere as the screams of souls and spirits from that place just yell as a spirit blast slams into the creature.
Whoa!
Huh? Okay.
Doing 122 points of damage.
Hot damn.
Fantastic. Just torn. Just wow. Congratulations on 122 points of damage. God, I fucking hate wizards. All right, Kali.
Yes.
It's your turn. You've got about 39 points of health.
Yeah. So, in this form, would she be able to reach the ceiling?
That's a
She kinda
cute little
held
acrobatics
herself
check, I think. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Unless you just want to continue to burrow and just let this place come down right away, you know. It's up to you.
Well, that's the thing. I was thinking of literally burrowing over the
Sure.
lady who was trying to cut out Sailix's tongue.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, let's make an acrobatics check. Impress me.
Okay. Well, hold on, let me check and see if I have some for this. Next. Well, there's no bonuses, and she's not trained in acrobatics, so let's see how this goes. 17.
Ugh.
That'd be good in D&D. This isn't D&D.
Tisk. Well, Alaska, what's your backup plan? Because you could also
Can it
just
be-
rip a hole under, try to take this thing down.
Yeah. There's a couple things. Actually, okay. Here's what I'm gonna do instead. She's going to dismiss her monstrosity form. So that's one action, I believe. And then she's going to cast the spell Baleful Polymorph on the beetle.
Oh, what save do I have to make?
That is a Fortitude save. That's a fail.
It's a critical
failure. Is that a critical failure?
It's a critical.
I'm
it's a nat
glad
one,
that
it's a critical
everybody
failure.
got
Okay,
critical
well
fail.
then, so the spell is you transform the target creature into a harmless animal appropriate for the area, with effects based on its fortitude save. On a critical failure, the target is transformed into the chosen harmless animal, body and mind, for an unlimited duration.
What?
So
did
I
you say
turn
for
this
an
thing into,
unlimited
like-
duration?
It is. That is correct.
It is permanently shifted.
So, literally, like, she turns it into, like, a desert hare.
It's a bunny!
Yeah.
Just some smoke coming out of the ears.
Aww.
Okay. Yeah.
She like, so like she
Just a little-
casts it. She just turns to the lady who is being all intimidating a second. Go. I'm sorry, dear. You were saying.
Sailix leans down the shaft. Ha!
This motherfucker.
Oh, gee. All right. You win this one. How long till my friends show up? Run along then.
Can I shoot
She
her?
stares at the gaping
Rune.
hole in the cell beside her.
Rune looks at the guard. Who are you?
Does it matter?
What do you mean to your compatriots?
My name's Kina.
Ina. Are you the expendable sort, or do they care about you?
Both columns there. Friend, what's your name?
They call me the constable.
Constable.
As Rune will hold out a hand, and I need her to make a will save.
Fuck. $39.
Oh, that does succeed. Believe that will limit what I can do. So, for a brief moment, she feels her mind being poked at, and these fingers sort of grab onto her brain and start pressing in, but she's able to withstand. Hmm. You do mean something here, don't you? As a raven will come down. Let's see if we can try that again. They are not immune to the effect, so another will save, please. That one is a failure. By 1.
No, that was Vespa's check. I got a nat 1
Oh!
on her will save. So go ahead. Go ahead. Go do
All
your
right,
thing.
so this is the Mind Probe spell.
Okay.
For the next minute, as I sustain, I get to ask questions. Because it was a critical failure, they can attempt to lie, but they have a -4 penalty on their deception checks.
Okay.
So the constable will ask, where are these slaves going?
Wherever the triad needs.
Who leads the triad here?
She's going to attempt a deception check. By saying... I don't know. Does 26 succeed? Doubt it.
No.
She's lying.
All right. So let's see if the target succeeds. You don't. If the target gives you a false answer, you believe. Oh, that's if they made a critical success. So she feels pressure on her brain. Do not lie to the constable, if you please. Who leads the triad here?
Ori. Zandivar.
Ori Zandibar?
You'll find him without an ear. Blonde hair.
Maniacal laughing.
Slowly.
Beard.
Yes, our friend Sailix found fit to bite it off.
You've probably got 20 seconds. Before my friends arrive, you should leave.
I would agree. Could Kali try and pick up the smoking bunny?
Yeah. No, that thing's just gonna kind of hop around.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean...
She's gonna pick it up. I'm going to call you Kenwery.
They're
And
coming.
Rune will pull his hand away, and she feels less pressure. Thank you for your information. You have a nice day now.
You could kill me before I'm flayed. I doubt you're doing that, though.
Where would be the fun in
As a point of note, slavery is against the law even here. Bringing slaves in, that's one thing. Making slaves here, that's another. Thanks to you, I at least now know Ori is attempting to make slaves in the city of Ketapesh. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Again,
Well, I'm right fucked.
good luck to you. I suppose you made a poor life choice.
You guys start to hear footsteps, shouting. People are moving in. responding to the calamity.
Rune will
Feel
look
the
at
place
his
is somewhat
compatriots.
weakened.
Go on. I'll be outside. He will walk over
You do
to
notice someone.
the cell.
Oh,
go ahead.
It seems somebody's during this conversation, this interrogation, has taken all of the clothes, save some stained undergarments, covered in sweat, which is, I mean, pretty standard for a Zephyr guard. This Zephyr guard you've interrogated is now without any equipment. It's been plucked up during this conversation. You probably noticed here and there while it was happening, which means somebody in this group probably has some equipment. Now, Sailix and Tandon, I believe you have already taken point on getting out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kali will as well.
All right.
With the rabbit.
Okay.
Sticking right by Sailix.
All right. You three have probably got a pretty easy time getting out. Vespa and Rune. What are you two doing?
So Rune's going up to
V's
the
heading
cell.
out. Yeah.
Yep. Rune?
Rune's going up to the cell. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, V.
I'm saying like V's getting out of there.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rune walks up to the cell and looks at as the constable anyway, and looks at the guard in there. If I were to set you free, would you help us?
You know I can't lie to you.
Yes.
Look at me. Do you think I'm worth anything?
The knowledge you have is. So the choice is yours. You can stay here and die, or tell us what you know and you might have a chance. His hands are already starting to weave a spell.
It doesn't take magic. It's obvious. I'm not being tortured to death here. If I get tortured to death by you, so be it.
We won't torture you. Just gonna ask you questions. As long as you're truthful.
Another loud laugh up the shaft. Ah!
As long as you're truthful, you can run and hide as far as you can.
Get me out of here. I'll talk.
It all depends on whether you like working with. It all depends on whether you like working with a triad or not.
No. Let's go. They're coming. We have 9 seconds.
Touch my staff.
She reaches a hand out. Afraid that this is just the Mind Flayer's trap that'll kill her.
In a puff of raven feathers, they are whooshed out to the street via dimension door.
Ah, dang it.
You've given Vespa the hardest way out. But
that's fine.
as far as these guards are concerned, no, she was just the first guard on the scene, like looking for whoever did this. Honest to anything.
Gosh.
But,
it's just
yeah.
Oh boy.
Really, one thing matters here. And it's that every single one of you got out in your own way, on your own terms. Scathed, but really unscathed. Kali, you've got a pet. Rune, you've got a chance at some answers. Vespa, you're slipping ever deeper into the underworld of Katapesh. Tandon and Sailix, look, you two are just bound together again somehow, huh? What's your question?
Since I was dressed up as a guard and I have legendary deception, can I have grabbed Kali and Sailix's equipment on my way casually walking out of there?
Yeah, no issue. No issue
Mhm.
getting your guys' stuff back.
Awesome.
But I'll leave you with something, Rune. What do you do when you appear again on these streets of Katapesh? Anything you say to her? She's disarmed.
Yeah,
Really at your mercy.
he will look at her. I'm gonna let you go. I'm not gonna try and hold you. All I ask is that you give us some answers. And then I'll even help you get out of this city if you want.
You do well to research Zandivar. What's your name?
They call me the Constable.
Okay, Constable. I'll give you a name, and I'm going to give it to you once. Commit it to memory. It's your first clue. I don't have the answers, but I have this. If you want to know more about Zandivar, find him by his true name.
And that would be...
Not Zandivar. That's for sure. It's triad bullshit. Look for Ori Swiftwind if you have any questions. I'll be nearby. She disappears into an alley. That's where we're going to end off tonight, folks. So.
You dick.
Well done. Well done. We've broken through. Saved our friends. Nearly destroyed the entire arena just to do it. But thank you for watching, everybody. This has been episode 65 of Pathfinder Age of Ashes. We've got about 34, 35 to go. But man, that was a wild ride. Well done on that combat. And so many people got very close to dying. Didn't even really realize it until just now. Kind of got in the teens a little, not really, but like 20s, 30s. It was, yeah,
I don't know what
yeah.
you're talking about. I feel fine.
Yeah, 170 points of damage.
Shadow bastard.
I guess you got. Yeah. Oh yeah.
That
We'll
was a
see.
real
We'll see.
Spooky one.
Yeah. Take us
But
back
now
to
we have a
the
new
Shadow
friend
War.
and a new pet.
Whew. Yeah, and some new clues. Harking back to new characters. Well, it doesn't matter. We'll get to it later. We'll pick up where we left off. Yeah. Y'all got about 30 days left before the Council of Guilds. Let's do some outros. Talk about how we feel. How that name seems to resonate with you. Starting with Daniel.
Hi guys, I'm Daniel. I played Sailix Lavendil tonight. Who I'm so happy I got to bite off Uri's ear. So great. I loved it. Also, I can't wait to pick up where we left off next week because, yeah, everybody else left. Like, Rune rolled out. Vespa said she grabbed the shit and rolled out. Sailix is like, there's other people here. We gotta get them out, guys. These guys. So that's gonna be great. Anyway, the last name drop that we had tied into a one shot we had off screen to somebody in this party's PC that they had, and I can't wait to hear about it more because it's a bunch of time warp stuff. Anyway, coming back to full circle, if you enjoyed what you've seen here this week, check us out in 1 week's time on YouTube, where you can catch up on all the shenanigans that we had and all the fun RPs and everything, and might even catch some weird clues that Ian dropped that we just didn't pick up on. So yeah, go ahead and give it a watch and let us know if you find anything. So yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah, there is still one massive. There is one massive clue wide, like it's in the open. It is so blatantly in the open that if you found it, you'd be like, oh, okay, wow. But nobody's gonna find it until like March of next year. I'm gonna drop it. Everyone's gonna be like, I hate you, Ian. I hate you, Ian. It's okay. I measure praise and I hate yous. James.
Everybody, thanks for watching. Once again, my name is James. I played the Tandon this evening. If you really, really like us, after you go to YouTube and give us a subscribe and click those notifications, head over to Patreon at patreon.com/pennyforatale for all kinds of cool behind-the-scenes stuff and some exciting opportunities that you can only get there because you love us and we love you. So give us all your money.
Do
it.
Jen.
Hello, I'm Jen. I played the Vesparin this evening. I enjoyed very much getting to use be a proper rogue with various MacGyver skills. That was super fun. I'm sad that you guys didn't use like the thieves tools and stuff. But like the whole thing was super fun. Thank you, James, for being cool about my character stabbing yours.
We had it coming at least a couple of times.
If you dig me and my content, tomorrow I will be streaming on The Quiet Gentleman with JK Myth in chat. We are doing a Star Trek Adventures campaign. I play the half Bajoran, half Cardassian chief of engineering. So if you want to see me boldly go, please go there tomorrow. Otherwise, on Saturday, I am on our sister channel, Weave the Tale, for Ian's Fallout game, which is super exciting and awesome. You get to see me be your super cool, super mutant, very green waifu. Otherwise, savagebarrow.com is my awesome website for nerdy clothing and apparel. And I will next be appearing at Otakon in the DC area. So if anybody here likes anime conventions, please come by and say hi.
Second to last, but certainly not second to least. If I have this right, Steve.
Yes, hi, I'm Steve, and I play the actual luckiest frickin' Kitsune. Golly, oh, that last baleful transformation was...
I don't know. Someone has to tell Fantasy Grounds that it makes dice that just don't produce numbers that aren't a 1 or a 20. Because, what happened? Sorry.
I'm a DM myself. I feel your pain, my dude. So again, great playing with you guys. I'm so happy to have brought out so many of Kali's fun abilities. She's great fun to play, especially when she's being clever and unorthodox, even if not all of the rogue's advice made it through. But yeah, great time, great heist, and looking forward to what you guys will be doing next in Katapesh. Because Kali's got a new face to play with.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, you've also got a CR17 hair, desert hair, just to, you know.
Well, and she can
The
look
cutest
like
little
other people.
guy.
Yeah.
One of the Kitsune feats.
Ugh, so good. Yeah, she will be. Oh my god. Rune Ravenswood, dealer of 6 score damage.
Jesus
It was to a
That was
hair,
the second
so,
time
you know.
I've cast that spell, and the second time it critically succeeded. I'm a fan of that spell. Such a fan of that spell. Worth every penny. Hello, I'm Mr. Smith. I played Rune Ravenswood, otherwise known as the Constable, while we were in Katapesh. if you enjoyed, as everyone said, please spread the word. Let everyone know how cool our little show is. Have them come by, check us out. If you are so inclined, give us a little follow. Subscribe if you have the chance. And definitely check out some of our old episodes. We also put a lot of good content out there, some videos and some lore drops we've got posted throughout the social media verse. So always look for Penny for a Tale, Penny Tale in some fashion. You'll probably find some content that we put out there. As for the name drop, that's a big fuck you there, GM. Big fuck you.
I mean, thanks for building
One
my
day,
NPCs for me.
maybe our audience will get a chance to meet Alexi Swiftwind, but we'll see.
Oh, yeah. Well, you met Uri, so it's good. Big family, right? Like you said.
Yeah, big family.
Big family.
Big family.
A lot of siblings.
Yep.
Yeah, I made sure to ask.
Lots
So,
of
you
siblings.
know, it's not that contrived.
You did.
A lot of
Fucker.
kids. So, all right, man. Yeah, I haven't done a good job unless people are telling me to like F myself. So I've been
Yeah,
Ian,
pretty much.
GM, Penny for Tail. I'm just kind of here. If I'm gonna weave the tail, I'd be running stuff. I'd be running stuff. Subscribe to this channel if you want to see more. Thank you so much for watching. We're gonna play our little video, and then after that, it's good night. I'm gonna pick something to raid, so give me a suggestion in chat. All right, thank you so much. Good night.
The jungle, Kintargo, Kovlar. Everywhere the Triad has popped up, they have fallen. They won't win.
You're right. They'll never win. We've given them no quarter, forced them back into hiding at each turn, back into their holes. Where do they hide now?
Along the Golden Road, coin may ensure their safety in items in time. No amount of gold will protect them from us.
Us. Together. Beating death, breaking curses, and always finding our way. We'll find them. And then they'll know it's over.
So run all you like. There is no fortress, no keep that will protect you, no army or force that will stop us. No matter how long it takes, we will find you, and we will destroy you. We are the unforgotten. We are eternal.